has started learning by one. What do you mean by center of mass? Center of gravity of a system of particles. Clear? Okay. Aditya, can you tell me what do you mean by center of mass? What do you understand? Actually, what you understand, you just say. That's enough.
It is the point masses of individual particles of a body can be assumed to be concentrated.
Can you mute your audio? I can hear the sound from your house. Rijas, please mute your audio, please. Yes, okay, thank you. Yeah, Aditya, continue.
It is the point at which all the masses of
Particles?
individual particles are concentrated at the center.
Yes, correct, exactly correct. Okay, Vidur, now you tell me what do you mean by center of gravity? Same. What Aditya said, only one word you have to change. That's it. Instead of mass.
It is the point at which weight can be considered to act
Considered to be?
when the torque is being calculated.
Okay. So correct. Okay. So center of gravity means it is a point at which the weight of entire mass system or weight of individual particles assumed to be concentrated. Okay. Good. Fine. Nandana, can you tell me where should be the center of mass lie in a regular shaped system? In a regular shaped system, where should be the center of mass of the system?
In the center of the shape.
It is not only, so it's at the geometric center. Okay, good. Okay, so it is fully depend upon the geometry of that. Clear? But in the case of a abnormal, irregular shape, irregular system, you cannot say it's a geometric center. So for that we have to calculate this equation by using M1R1 plus M2R2 plus M3R3. So in an irregular system, okay. So what I was talking about, irregular shapes. Okay. In irregular shapes, we cannot find out the center of mass using telling that it is a geometrical center. Okay. So for that, in olden times, now also they do some other thing. It is not in your textbook. Just for your knowledge, that's not more important, but still I want to tell you, how can you find out the center of mass of system for a irregular shapes? So if you go through this picture, this is the finding the center of gravity of an irregular shape, correct? So in this case, what we consider means, we have to find out what is the actual distance from the axis. Last class I taught you three types of motion. One is rolling motion, translation motion, and another one what I was talking about was rotational motion. And you see in the examples of your fan, rotation of the fan. In examples of a rotational motion, fan is not simply rotating. It is always rotating about an axis, correct? Similarly, Earth is rotating. Earth is also having a translational motion. You can say that Earth is rotating around the sun. Similarly, Earth itself is rotating. So there is also translational motion and both rotational motion. So these are some daily example what you see in the case of a system. So in the case of a fan is rotating, but it's not simply rotating, it is rotating about the axis, about a particular axis. What is the axis? Where that motor and everything has to be kept inside the part of it, and you can see it has suspended from the ceiling through a shaft. So that will be the axis of rotation. But similarly, Earth is rotating around the sun. I repeat once again, Earth is rotating around the sun. Earth also having translational motion. If you draw the tangent at Earth. So this is our sun and Earth is rotating in this thing. If you draw the tangent of the Earth always pointing towards the translational motion. At the same time, it is also rotating its own axis of rotation. So in small classes we have studied that Earth is tilted little bit and it is rotating around the axis. Similarly, in the case of a irregular shape, you want to find out center of gravity of an object or center of mass of the system, we should identify an axis. If you look at the first picture, it is not a regular shape. It is an irregular shape. Clear? So, in the case of irregular shape, there is an axis and all, but you can see that end point, the point P1 is suspended with a thread. There is a thread has tied around this. So, what is happening? This thread is acting like a axis. So, how do you apply that equation W1 and R1? Then we have to measure the weight of the entire object and then you have to find out the distance from the axis how much is the distance. Then we apply the same equation and you can find out. Okay, so this is how we find out the center of gravity. Look at the second picture. In second picture, it has suspended this way. Clear? Suspended this way you see. In that case also center of gravity. Here center of gravity is here. But here center of gravity is at the bottom. And if you suspend it at a different part of this body, the center of gravity is moved. So it is shifted. It is shifted according to the axis. So this is the difference between a regular shape and irregular shape. Irregular shape, center of gravity and center of mass. That point you can just write it. In the case of a irregular shape system or in the case of a irregular sized system of particles, center of gravity, write down, in an irregular shaped or irregular size system of particles, center of gravity and center of mass. Center of mass changes according to the Okay. So what I said, it changes according to the axis of rotation. It changes according to the axis of rotation. Changes according to the axis of rotation. Equation is same, only thing we have to measure the distance from the axis of rotation. That is only difference in the regular shape and as well as the irregular shape. Regular shape, it is easy for us to find out. It is at the geometric center. But in irregular shape, it is not happening. Okay children, so we continue with that types of motion. So that is an example of a center of mass, center of gravity of irregular shapes. Okay, now we also can represent, can find out the center of mass in terms of unit vector and the vector components. That is what last class we learned. On x-axis what it is, on y-axis what it is, on z-axis how it is. Now we are going to combine this x-coordinate, y-coordinate and z-coordinate. All these things are, we are going to get a simple equation for system of particles. So last class we separately found out x what, y what. Now we are going to combine and then you will get the position vector everything in terms of xi plus yj plus zk. So that is what the next thing we are going to study. Then only we can continue with the motion of the particles. So you can write now next. If we combine motion of the particles, if we combine motion of the particles in terms of coordinate, in terms of coordinate system, in terms of coordinate coordinate system consists of x, y, consists of x, y and z, x, y and z, x and y, z. Then Ri be the position vector of ith particle, 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 and capital R be the position vector of center of mass of the system, center of the mass of the system. That is Ri is equal to xi plus yj plus j cap. I cap is unit vector I, unit vector j plus zk. Therefore, capital R is equal to capital Xi plus capital Yj plus capital Zk, that is equal to sigma Mi Ri by capital M. Capital M means total mass of the up to ith particle, total mass of the system. Next point, if coordinates of the system, if the coordinates of the system is x, y, z is equal to 0, 0, 0, or the origin, then center of mass of the system RCM, center of the mass of the system RCM, sigma mi ri by capital M, that is actually is equal to m, that is going to be 0, because all origin is 0, no? So naturally when you calculate, you will get entire thing is 0. So that is why. Okay, so this will be applicable, this will be applicable, this will be applicable, this will be applicable in a system of closely packed particles, such as a metallic system or a solid system. Metallic system or a solid system. Solid system means all the solid matter. Matter has 3 states. So in all the solid matter, this may be possible because everything particles are closely packed. But it is sometimes just like an atoms. In the case of a system of an atom, it is not easy for us to find out the mass of the individual particles. So in that case, it is not applicable for us to find out R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus that's all. That's not easy. So in that case, what we do, the same equation we will convert it into integration, as we have studied in previous classes. So you take for a single particle integration and then you combine all together and you generalize it. So that is the next session we are moving on to. Next step, in a system of atomic particles, since the spacing is very small, we can treat the body as a continuous distribution of mass and entire motion, as a continuous distribution of mass and entire motion without breaking it. Therefore, in this case, coordinates of the center of mass are sigma del mi tends to integration of dm, which is equal to capital M. So mass also we integrate separately. Then sigma del mi xi is equal to integration x dm. Sigma del means changing, mi yi is equal to y dm, and integration of del mi zi is equal to integral z dm. So we have to integrate over the entire mass. Dm instead of dt we have dm. So that is we have to integrate over this entire mass separately. We have to separately integrate and then we have to add. That's it what we do. Therefore, capital X is equal to 1 by m integral x dm. Capital Y is equal to 1 by m y dm. Z is equal to 1 by m integral z dm. Then total center of mass RCM. Sometimes we simply represent RCM as capital R. We may not use CM or CG. Okay. So now we are talking about mass because of in notation it is M. We can write it as R is equal to 1 by M integral R dm. What is R? R is xi plus yj plus zk. So this is for the system of smallest particles like a nucleus, neutrons, proton, simple nuclei, unstable nuclei, all these cases. Similarly, if center of mass of the system is origin means bracket you can write 0 0 0, then total center of mass going to be 0. Yes.
And we are just learning this formula, or we have to use this for questions.
This is only theory. You learn the formula. Okay.
But we don't know integration.
No integration. We only learn the expression. I am not going to give you the problems based on integration in this case. Okay. No, I won't be giving problems based on integration. We have only to study this kind of cases happening in the case of a small particle system. That's it. Okay. Mainly our study is using M1 R1 plus for small particles. Okay. So this chapter mainly we are dealing with the rigid system, means rigid system mainly macroscopic objects. Macroscopic objects means solid, rod, like that. Clear? Sphere. So you don't worry. But why I am teaching this means this is may require, maybe some of you going for entrance and all may have some kind of thing. So I am just pointing it, and this happens in the case of a small particles. Since we cannot use that equation, summation not possible, we can use this. That is the only theory I am teaching. Okay. So what you have to learn means learn the case. In particular, for a small particles, this is the center of mass of the system. Okay, this may be objective type questions. And if I ask the question, suppose the center of mass of the system is at origin, what will be the value of center of mass? In option I can give you 0, 1, 180 degree something. So for that these points are important. Okay. So physics, I told you physics, it's not a descriptive nature you get the questions. Everywhere you have a point wise noting. Like periodic test 3 I have given you pattern like that, no? So majority question paper is like that in plus 2 also. And I tell you which are the expression you have to learn, their derivation which you have to learn. What I tell, only that you study. Okay, in your plus 1 also. Okay. I think we will meet next class. I will do one problem not using that, the previous one, using xi, yj in the next class. Okay. So we missed a lot of time because of the current. So we will continue with the next class. Thank you.